Hello, everyone. It's actually the first time I'm stream how to package a snap, and I'm not sure if the microphone is audio level is proper. So if you have any audio issues, you can tell me in the chat room. And let's get started. And today we are going to snap speed test CLI. This is basically a utility to test your internet bandwidth using the popular speedtest.net service. And it can run under a command line interface and like a text terminal or something. The reason I want to package this is that although it is relatively easy to install, and you can just pip install and install it, but it kinda let your system dirty in that it will put stuffs in your for example your user file system and some. You can also download it and run it using curl, but it actually is quite unsafe to me to randomly downloading a script from the internet and just give it executable bit and run it. Also, there's a problem with these options is that it won't auto-update to the latest version, which I very kinda like it to do. Also, another reason to snap it is that it has a relatively frequent release schedule. Yeah, let's get started. So first, let us create a directory for our project. For example, an official snap packaging for, let's see, speed test CLI. Let's open a command line at this directory. And then you can initialize the project with Snapcraft init. Here you can see the Snapcraft tool has created a Snapcraft.yaml template. Then you can start editing, customizing to your like. For example, the name of the snap, the base snap is started on, and I use the default Core 18. And the version, for example, the latest release is 2.1.3, and let's use that. And write a summary of your snap. It will be displayed on the storefront. For example, if I browse my Snap Store backstage, for example, like the ASCII Aquarium snap, it will appear at here. Not exactly. Actually at here. In this case, we just copy the upstream project's intro. And it says it at most need to be 79 characters. So we should probably trim down it a little. Oh, we don't need to. So let's continue. For the snap's description, the upstream project doesn't really have many introductions, so we just use this for now. Also, for me, I would like to add a disclaimer that the snap is not the product of the upstream project. Oops. We'll take care of the issue tracker later. Also, the grade and confinement, we'll change this later. So after we test our snap. Now's the part section. Essentially, you add all the bits that need to build and run your Snap application in this section. Now, the major one is the application itself. Since it is a Python-based application, we can just use the Python plugin. You can list all the plugins Snapcraft supported by running the Snapcraft list plugin command. Oops. Yeah, list plugins. Yeah. And for all the plugins, you need to know how to use it. You can use the Snapcraft help and the plugin name, for example, Python. Okay. First of all, we need to specify the sources of the part. And auto completion. Maybe yeah, it has auto completion. Yeah. There's an issue of Visual Studio Code that my terminal will often hang on my input. So yeah. And you can check out the documentation for all the info to define a part. So first we need to define a source of our part. It can be your project directory, somewhere in your project directory, or some GitHub repo. So we can get the repository's address and just fill it in. In most cases, Snapcraft will detect it automatically, so you don't need to specify that it is a Git repo or anything. The next is selecting. There's a source tag property that can let you select which tag to check out. Yeah. So we just fill the tag name into it. I think that's all for now for us to test. We can do this, the testing stage by stage. For example, we can run Snapcraft poll. I'll try to use the LXD container to build a snap, as it is less resource using than the default multipath virtual machine containers. In the meantime, we can just wait for it to pull all the things. Here is a template that I normally use to snap my to package a snap, and it has is mostly the same with the official Snapcraft template, but I add a few things that I feel that it is necessary. Also, the wiki section here, there are some templates that I use to do certain operations during the snap process. For example, to request an interface connection request. If you look at the the forum, you can find out that my most requests are almost look like the same because I use these templates. There's a problem that bothers me is that it always fetch the packages from the official Ubuntu archive, and not the local mirrors, and it will make the download process longer. So normally I will inject some comments before it fetch the packages to replace the Ubuntu archive to one of my local mirrors. I found I make a mistake that I make this actually like a tutorial, but I don't really mean to speak that much during such session. Yeah. Okay. We have done the poll. Oh, for local mirrors, I use some comments. Let's check. I found a bug to Snapcraft to use a local mirror, and I believe there is I have put some of my comments on the bug, but I need to look for it. Okay, I found my comment. It's actually my comment, but the user here copied over here. Yeah. So for multipath build is actually like this. Use a simple SCD comment to replace the URL of the archive. Yeah. And for the LSD container, it looks like this. The timing is to inject the comment is quite troubling though, as it has to, for example, it has to be injected before Snapcraft, after the container has network access, and before the before Snapcraft tries to fetch the packages. So it works, but just not that convenient. I'll paste the bug report here so you can check it out. Okay, we have finished running the Snapcraft poll comment. And we can check out what actually is in the container by, I believe, using the shell after argument. Snapcraft will drop us into the shell after running the poll step. As we already run the poll step, we will just drop in the shell. So it will look like somewhat look like this in the speedtest-cli part folder. Oops. That's a lot of files, so let's continue. Let's just try to to package it right away and try to check if it works. Some cheat sheet and we need to define the apps section and to let the package application expose to the system. Let's just copy this and paste in our Snapcraft YAML. Show out the comments. Okay, so here's our app session. You can define multiple comments to be exposed from one snap. For now, we just expose the speedtest-cli comment. And for command line snaps, there are one important detail is that the application will most applications will have an error if you don't specify the locale. As the snap runtime only provides c.utf8 locale by default. So in this case, we just hard coding it. And we somewhat want to have a comment chain here. We would like to have a simple launcher. For our future convenience. And this is just a simple shell script. And in this launcher, we simply just pass all the arguments. You can find the example launcher here. And for the information of using launchers, I have written a article. Oops. Should be in the doc section. It's simply, you can do many things like modify the runtime environment to make the application work. And in some case, we can display informational messages. For example, if in some future I would like to obsolete the snap, I can add a simple message here, for example. And the user will see it when using the application. Of course, this only works for command line interface applications. So in case you are packaging a graphical application, you can use some dialogues. To do the same thing. No image. I believe this happens after the last change in the Snapcraft Forum, but whatever. So let's just set up a simple launcher for now. And name it speedtest-cli launch. Okay, so here's the environment in the build container. And you can see that we are now in the /root directory. In fact, your project files are mapped into the project directory under the /root directory. So you can see the files here. Let's remember to give the launcher executable permission. Okay, let's continue. We now add a launcher, and we must specify a part to deliver the launcher into the Snap. So we just add a simple launcher. And you can, let's add a folder for adding the launchers. So for the source property, we just specify where to the launchers folder. And in here, we simply use the dump plugin to drop all the files into the part. Yeah. Let's run the poll step again to see how it ends up. So now in our parts directory, we should now see the launcher's part. And here we can see that in the install directory, in the source directory we have our launcher. Now we can run the build step to build a part. Okay, after the build part, we can see that the launcher is now moved to the install directory. This is what it may end in the snap. Also for the speedtest-cli part. And we can see our main executable here. The next step is the stage step, which will consolidate all our parts files into the same directory. So now if we see the stage directory, it will look like this. Our speed test binary and and our launcher as a root directory of stage directory. The next step is the prime step, which you can consolidate all the necessary files into the snap. The prime directory essentially is the files that will end up into the snap package. In normal cases, we should drop all the files that is not necessary to be end up in the snap in this stage. but we just, in this session, we just simply let it be. But let's have an example here. So, for example, you'll see that the speed test part have added a lot of files into the part. For example, the main pages here, currently it is not possible to view it from outside the snap. And we can remove it to save some space of the snap package. So the path is share and share/main. We can trim the content out by using the prime property, and essentially we just prepend it with a minus and share man. Not sure if wildcards are useful here, but let's add it just in case. We can redo the prime step again and verify that whether the files we don't want it end up in the snap is gone. An error. Essentially, this Snapcraft is telling us that speedtest CLI launch is not in the bind directory. We can now fix it by just remove the bind/component, as it actually end up in here, in the root of the stage directory. We'll roll out of that for now. Okay, the prime step is redone, and we can now check the files in the prime directory. Home. So the main folder is not removed. Let's try just dropping the wildcards. And redo it again. Still there. Strange. Oh, I've done a mistake. I put the prime property in the wrong part. That's why it didn't come effect. It should be in the part that will ship the file. Let's try it again. Okay, let's check out the content. The main directory should now not exist in the snap. So let's verify it. It's still there. Strange. Or am I missing something? Nothing to be so, but okay. It has another level of the folder. So it should be user share main. Let's try again. Let's try again. Okay, now the main folder is now no longer in the prime directory. As you can see here, it originally should be under the lintian directory, but it's not here anymore. So just in case, we actually have found more files that we can strip from the snap. For example, the lintian directory, I believe it is something related to the Debian packaging, so we can safely exclude it from the snap. And the pixmaps directory, I believe it's stored some image for whatever reason. So let's exclude that for also. Okay, that's that. Let's just run the prime step again. just to be sure, let's look at the prime directory again. So yeah, now the folders we specified is now no longer and in the prime directory. Okay, and the next step is probably pack. Or snap. The snap step will simply package the prime directory into the snap package file that we can install on. So let's try install it. To install a local snap, we need to specify the dangerous flag. To be clear, it is actually not a local snap file, but a snap that lacks the signing signature from the store. Okay, not open. Oh, in the container, build container, Snapcraft actually put the end up snap in the project folder, so you can see it here. Let's try to install it. Okay, this means that we have specified the dev mode confinement. So to install it, we need to specify the dev mode flag. Now it is installed. The command listed in the app section should be available. Just run it, maybe. It actually worked. I hope the speed test doesn't actually cause trouble to the streaming. Okay, it actually worked pretty much perfect, except the beginning warning message of cannot change locale. This is because I wrongly set the locale that we should be run on. As we have said before, the snap runtime only ships c.utf8 locale by default. So we must hardcode it, or if you really need other locale support, you can try out the get text launcher, which is created by me. And this essentially this launcher actually do the same thing as I do in the Snapcraft YAML file. It just hardcode the locale. But if you need to support the user locale, you should use another launcher called locale's launcher. It essentially will automatically generate the required glibc locale files for your snap in the runtime. and you can use it by simply copy and paste the recipe here and add the locale's launcher into your command chain. But for now, I believe the application we snap today, it does not need this to properly run and to, for example, support the internationalization or I-18N, like translation for different languages. Let's have a break for now, for 10 minutes. Okay, now we're back. Again, if the audio is too loud, please ping me in the comment section. So in the previous section, we have successfully create a dev mode snap, and that can properly run for speed testing. And we saw a warning that presumably by bash that it cannot change the locale to enus UTF-8. This is because that I previously mistakenly hard-coded in the environment property. And as we previously mentioned, the snap runtime only ships the c.utf-8 locale. So it should really be fixed to like this. And for some reason, you need to support different locales that your user uses, that you can use the locale launcher, which will generate the required locale data in the runtime. So let's just rebuild our snap again to see that whether the issue we previously seen is still reproducible after we rebuild the snap. So let's rebuild it. Previously we run the Snapcraft snap step comment to build the snap, but we can actually just run Snapcraft and it will complete all the previous snap steps. Okay, so we have rebuilt the snap, and let's install it again and try to reproduce the problem just in case. So you can see that the warning message disappeared. So essentially, our change is successful. So let's just cancel it. And now, we can actually try to flip our confinement to strict, which means that snapd will actually start to restrict what your snap can do. And we now need to specify the interface plugs that our snap need to assert. You can check out all the supported interface that snapd provide to the snap to consume. So in the first, our target today is a network speed test application. So obviously we need network access for the snap, which can be provided by the network interface. We need to check out the auto-connect column to see that whether the plug will auto-connect, or we need to let the user to connect them manually, or we can request the interface to be auto-connected after the Snap Store's approval. You can essentially see the process in the store requests. There's a store request section in the Snapcraft Forum, which you can find the process to request the auto connection of certain interface. I can find it here, so should be in some place here. Yeah, it is. It should be pinned on the top of the post category, but whatever. So in this article, you can find the process to actually request for a certain interface to be auto-connect to your Snap. But for now, we can simply assert the network interface here. I'm not sure that the application will access any files in my home directory, for example, like config files or something. So we may need to assert the home interface or not. We first comment it out just in case. We can now rebuild the Snap again. If we look at the prime directory, we can find out there is a meta and snap folder under the prime directory, which will end up in our Snap. These two directories are actually inserted by the Snapcraft utility, and it contains information about the Snap. I'm not sure which is which though, but for example, you can see that pretty much our recipe is defined here. Essentially, you can find out there's a network plug asserted here, which I assume that snapd will read this file and know that the Snap needs this interface and will connect them if the interface is auto-connect. And for the Snap directory, though, okay, you can find our launcher. I'm not too sure about the purpose of this directory, so I'll just skip it for now. Okay, we have now packaged the Snap again, and we will now install it to see if it works. We should really run it without the devmode flag, as our Snap is now in strict confinement. Okay, now our Snap has installed again. We can now run it to see if there's any problem. So it appears that the Snap doesn't have any issue after we flip it to the strict confinement, as for now. Okay. Let's just see the help message of this application, just in case that there's actually some feature, some functionality in this this application that will actually need to access a file in your system. Okay, so no download, no upload. Doesn't seem so for now. Okay, so after checking the help message, it doesn't seem that there's any feature or functionality of this application that requires to access a file in your local file system. So we just remove the plug for now. Okay, so we've actually pretty much done here. As we pretty much run the application without any issues, and it's pretty hard mess anyway. So we just flip the grade property to stable. Flip it to stable allows you to release the snap to candidate or stable channels. So that's it for now. And to put other additional step further, we can try to ease our future maintenance, as for now we have hard coded the version to build in the Snapcraft recipe. We can use a scriptlet or there's a scriptlet called selective-checkout, which is actually made by me, which will automatically check out the latest tag release for the stable channel. To be precise, to be promoted to the stable channel. And after it detected that the snap has been promoted to a stable channel, it will actually check out the development snapshot build for the edge channel for your other channels that might also be helpful for the users. Okay. It actually requires that has some requirement. So, for example, the virtual control system must be Z3, and the text must be in a certain format that is supported. And the following part definition, we can just simply copy it to your recipe. Okay. Also, you need to add the after property to your main component part, which is here. And you need to specify as override poll scriptlet. So we should probably put somewhere like here to make sense. Okay. you can see the logic of the scriptlet here. So just to make sure the behavior is what you wanted. The scriptlet supported some command line options. For example, we can append our snap packaging's revision to the snap version string. So let's just add it here. Also, you can specify, for example, if the beta tag pattern is different in the upstream project, you can specify it here. For now, we probably just need to append our packaging revision. Yeah, just for our convenience. Okay. Let's just rerun the pull step to see what it actually do. Snapcraft and pull. We just need to run the pull step. Snapcraft will automatically detect whether your previous steps need to be rerun due to your changes in your Snapcraft recipe. So it actually automatically detects that we need to repull the main part. Okay. So we actually found an error, a warning message, because we haven't published our snap to the store. This is pretty much safe, as it will automatically check out the latest release tag instead. So it's fine for now. Also, for another problem is that they actually don't know our packaging revision, as we actually doesn't have one yet. So let's just leave our build environment for now. So let's do a quick git init to initialize our Git repository. Also, we probably should create a new project on GitHub to put our snap recipe. So let's go to GitHub and create a new project called, I usually just append the -snap postfix or suffix on all of my snap projects. So I'll just use speed test CLI snap. And for the description, I usually prefer to use the unofficial snap packaging for speed test CLI. Okay, so we have now initialized our snap project. And we can get back to our snap description and add our issue tracker's address. Here. Also, I found out that our selective checkout launcher isn't actually completed yet. So we should not set the version key, the version property here. Instead, we should add a adopt info property and specify the part name that actually provides the information of the version string. So, which is our main part here. Okay, so our launcher is completed, and let's just snap it again very quick. Instead, we first push our changes onto GitHub. First of all, let's just do a quick git add and git commit. Also, we probably should add a simple README in our project directory. So let's just simply copy the name and pretty much that's all for now. Probably just add the project link here. Okay, so just add all the files here and commit. Start tracking changes. Oops. Let's do a quick sign off. After committing, we can add our remote repository. And push it. Okay, we have now successfully pushed the repository. So now we should see our files here. Oops! Mistake. We should really ignore the snap file we built. Let's add it to the .gitignore file quickly. And ignore all snaps built from the recipe. Let's just add our ignore file, gitignore file, and remove our mistakenly added snap. We just do amend our previous commit and just force push for now. Okay, we have successfully repushed our repository without the unnecessary files. Okay, to continue, we need to register a snap name on our snap name on the Snap Store in order to publish it. And let's log into our developer account here. Developer account. And here is the Snap Store's backstage. And I actually registered the speedtest-cli snap name in advance. You should really do this before snapping, as in some cases you will not be able to reserve the snap name just right away. So we now have the snap name. We can select publish to this name. Oh, okay, so this is the documentation. I'll just put in our chat room. We should click here. Just go into our Snaps listing page. Let's give our tour and go to the build section. We'll just stop here for now. For now, we first go back to our build environment and we run the build, just so you can see what we'll actually do when our previously mentioned the selective-checkout scriptlet will do while you are building your snap. So let's rebuild our snap. This time we build it outside of the build container. Okay, now the snap has been rebuilt, and we can see that the packaging revision is still unknown for some reason. Which should really be the first 7 characters of our commit hash. So it's actually pretty strange here, so let's check it out. Oh, the reason that it doesn't change because we have already finished the post step, and it's skipped in this run. So the selective checkout script is not rerun. In this case, we first clean our build product and do a rebuild. this will take a while, and let's try to maybe change our Ubuntu archive to our local mirror. Oops, we're too late, so let's retry. So the comment I'm using here is in this bug report, and let's just construct the comment beforehand. So after the dash is our snap name. Then to dash follow the SCD comment. Which I should replace it with my local archive here. Then it is the sources list in the build environment, which should be here. Let's try inject the comment here again. So we should probably, we should probably inject our comment in this timing, just before the container the Snapcraft starts to do their job. Yeah, and we successfully changed our archive mirror, which is just some seconds to do so. So not convenient. At least the package download should be faster now. So okay, the Snapcraft actually start to run here. and it checks out the selective-checkout scriptlet, and it will be run while the the poll step of the speed test CLI part. So I assume the process here is to install the dependencies of the Python plugin here, and you can see you can see that the scriptlet is run, and it now determines the packaging revision to E865, which should be the revision of our packaging repo. Now our snap has been successfully snapped, and a quick verify E865, yeah, which is actually be appended to the snap version string. So I believe we are all good here, and we can continue to try to publish it on the Snap Store. So back to our store backstage, and we can trigger the automatic build process directly from GitHub. So select the namespace of your GitHub account and search for speed test. Yeah, we can find our repository here. And we can just start building. The building process should take a while, and the snap is actually built on the Launchpad build farm, which is, you can actually see it. Maybe here, Launchpad, I believe it's called, okay, builders. In this page, and you can see all builders on the Launchpad platform, and one of it should actually be building our snap. Okay, you can actually see so these architectures are building. So the ARM architecture, okay, we can actually see that a build machine has been started to build our snap. So there's not much we can do instead of just wait for it to finish. Let's just wait here, maybe. You can find out that many builders are started to build our snap. Which I hope that all architectures can build properly, though. And these two architectures are still in the building soon, so probably their other builders are currently busy building some other things. Not sure what the building private job is, but interesting. So you can see that the AMD 64 architecture actually are queuing, have some backlogs, which probably should be cleaned up in 2 minutes, I guess. So in the meantime, let's just wait here maybe. Also, you can actually try to trigger a build on the Launchpad by using the Snapcraft remote build command, which you can actually upload the packaging source and let it build on one of the Launchpad builders. And you can specify which architecture you want to build on. So you can just try it out rather than trigger it in here in the store backstage. Okay, we now found that the how to pronounce this, S390X architecture have released our snap, and the others are still in progress. So we can now see some of our snaps has been built, and they are landing in the edge channel. I'll put a documentation link of the remote build comment in the chat. So for now, we're still building on these architectures, and not much we can do here actually. So maybe we check out some things that may be useful for now. So if you have any problems while building a snap, the Snapcraft Forum is actually a great resource and to look for and to seek for help. And you should post it in the Snapcraft category. We have another architecture has finished our snap build, and in fact, let's look at the original Snapcraft template. I believe it's in which should be in somewhere on GitHub. Yeah, here. I'll put the link in the chat, and it actually have a neat template for a new Snap project, and have a huge checklist that you can follow step by step to properly publish and maintain the Snap. So we have done these and this. We pretty much skip the logos because the speedtest CLI doesn't really ship one. So let's just keep it the default logo. And we have created a snap that runs in dev mode. We have registered the snap in the preferred upstream name. We didn't show the process though. You can do it using the Snapcraft register comment or via the store backstage where I see. You can also register it at I think in the my published snaps page. Here's a register a snap name button, and just fill it in. And if the snap name is really popular, for example Firefox, this is not actually an example. So for example, like Tick, which is a popular Git utility. You can probably find this error. This error is actually another person has already registered this snap name. Another common error is that the name is actually reserved. For example, like what? A common application name. Let's try Yelp. The Yelp name is actually the application name of this help application. So also, if you find such error, you for example, another one has already registered your snap name, you can file a dispute, the dispute form, to let the store staff determine whether they should allocate the snap name to you. Usually, if you are the upstream developer of the application that uses that name, you pretty much have a good chance of reclaiming the snap name to yourself. And the popular gateway timeout error. Oh my. Oh, let's just go back to the build page. Our snap has already successfully built and released in all 6 architectures that is currently supported. And let's see the releases page. And all the snap version, all the new snap builds will land in the Edge channel. And you can choose to promote it in other channels like beta, candidate, or stable. And for now, I would like to promote it to the beta channel because I like people to test it yet before actually promote it to the stable channel, which will be searchable in the, for example, the Ubuntu Software Center here. So for now, I'm not sure it will available here. Maybe. For example, if we browse the store page and search for the snap we previously published, it is available. So not sure why. Also, what? Okay. Let's leave this for now. I'm not sure why we can actually search this for now, but we just hold it from the stable channel for now. Yeah. After promoting, you can select save. You can click the save button to actually apply the changes. So our snap is now promoted to the beta channel. If we look at the store listing page, we can see that if we refresh the page, and we can see that it's now in the beta channel. And you can see that the metadata we specified in the Snapcraft YAML file has been placed in the store listing page. With some exceptions, for example. And this column should actually have a title property that should set the snap's title here. But as far as I know for now, it is not supported. Yeah, just saying. So, okay. Now we have promoted to the beta channel, and we can now, let's just check out other store pages in the backstage quickly. The metrics page will list your Snap installations and which region that users install your application, such data. And for example, if I open some other Snap, for example, the gallery download. This is a package that I previously contributed to the upstream, and it's performing pretty well, in fact. So we can see that currently there is over 1,000 users have actually installed the Snap to their system. And this is the weekly active devices. Means that the host that previously installed the Snap but is not seen recently will be excluded from this number. And you can see even long time range and different, I believe, different options to see the graph. Yeah. And how many people in different regions have been using this Snap. So it's pretty much informative. And the publicize page, and you can, interesting graph. The publicize page will have some resource for you to promote your Snap to. For example, you can get this shiny badge to get put on your project page, and even in different languages. So it's pretty cool. And the Chinese badge is actually contributed by me, just saying. Also the GitHub badges that you can put in your project page, and the card that you can insert in a web page, I suppose. So also the settings page, you can configure some settings like whether your Snap can be searchable, can be shown on the Snap Store, or hide it in the search results, or even just not allow use to be accessible. And various distribution details here. Also, you can share collaboration rights to other users. Okay, we got our famous 504 again. So this is what the card actually looks like, and you can insert it in the web page you prefer. So we have successfully built and published a Snap on the store today, and it's actually installable right for now. To install it, for example, in our local console, we can run sudo snap install channel, because it is published in the beta channel, so we must specify it, and speed test CLI. And it will download it and install it. There's pretty much things that can be optimized in the packaging. For example, our package currently contains many files that don't actually be used in the application and can be excluded in the prime stage. We have now installed the Snap, and we can run it right now. First, let's check whether this is our version. So I actually have built a speedtest CLI in my home directory, which I don't really want to run at the moment. So in this case, you can actually use the snap run and the snap command to run the correct version in your snap distribution. So and it pretty much runs perfectly. If anything wrong didn't happen. Yeah, so it works. And this pretty much for today's session. So I hope everyone like it, and maybe I will do more of these snaps crafting sessions in the future, and who knows. And that's for now. So have a good day.